I'm David Furones. This is Fernandez. We're at Miami-Jackson. This is the Gridiron Report. Well, Andre, it's election day here in Florida, but here at the Gridiron Report, we cast our votes for the top high school football games in Dade and Broward County.
If most people don't agree, and neither do me and Manny, and neither do you and me now these days either. So we'll see how this one goes.
Now that we have all these playoff scenarios and all the district tiebreakers all wrapped up, we can get into some good old neighborhood rivalry games. Final week of the regular season. We start with Coral Gables and Southwest, Friday night at Tropical Park. Coral Gables historically dominant in this rivalry, but Southwest has marginalized the disparity here.
Yeah, the Eagles really have. I mean, they've won a couple of meetings the last few years. They've shown they've been competitive even in the ones that they haven't. It's not like the old days where Gables won it for about maybe half a century consecutively, pretty much. But I think this year, though, I think it's going to tip back in the favor of the Cavaliers. They're starting to pick up some steam now late in the season. The running game's working. They're getting a little bit more out of their passing game. The defense has always been solid at Gables. And Southwest, they're reeling a little bit right now. It's going to be interesting to see their reaction coming off, well, really for them, even though they got in the playoffs, for them it was a disappointment at 8-1 not to win the district.
Yeah, last time I was on the show, I picked Southwest to win, my alma mater. But this time I'm not feeling it. I got the Coral Gables defense coming through, even against guys like Pickett White and Trevon Sands. We take it to a Thursday night game now. Carroll City against American. Carroll City out of the playoffs after that 0-4 start. American, they will be in postseason play.
Yeah, I mean, it'll still be a close game. There's a lot of good talent on both sides of this. Both guys have done a good job. Carroll City, unfortunately, came up on the short end. It's going to be interesting to see how they react. Obviously, in terms of the playoffs, they have nothing to play for this week. But either way, American's done a good job at 8-1, and I have a feeling they're going to go 9-1 and go into that Plantation game with some momentum.
I like that American team. I like what Coach White has done. But I'm actually going to go against you, Andre. I'm going with Carroll City to come back strong.
Spoiler.
Right, after they lost that tiebreaker, I think they're really going to come out to get American just for one last hurrah this season and come out and win that game. We go to Broward County now. Plantation and South Plantation. Andre, who do you have in this one?
Yeah, old rivalry game. I mean, it's kind of hard to see because Plantation's getting ready for the playoffs. Again, South Plantation playing the role of spoiler. They've done it before. I got to give Steve Davis and those guys some credit. They won't be as overmatched as they were last week against St. Thomas, and they'll bounce back and get this one.
And Andre, I covered that game. I just watched them lose 51-0, the Colonels, but I'm still going to pick them. Alex Collins is running onto that field for Doug Gatewood and the Paladins. I'm going with Plantation to have one more bounce-back game before they get into the postseason. Now we take it down south, Homestead and South Dade, the Battle of Lucy Street. Andre, who do you have in this one? Harris Field is going to be packed for this one.
It's always packed for this one. They'll be wrapped around the fence watching this game. It's always a good rivalry. I think it's going to be low scoring because both teams have good defenses, but South Dade's a little bit banged up, but if they can get some of the pieces in order, I think they squeak out a win. They're the more complete team.
I've covered both of these teams a lot this season, and I've seen enough to think that South Dade will take this one. We go from about as far south as we go in our coverage here at the Herald to about as far north as we go in our coverage. North Broward County, Coconut Creek against Monarch.
I had a feeling it was them. But yeah, this game, Monarch lost last week, which no one saw that coming. I mean, against Dillard, a team that's eliminated from the playoffs. Now they're going to get another team from that district that's eliminated in Coconut Creek. High-powered offense. I can't see Monarch, after all they've done, dropping 2 in a row right before the playoffs. If they do, then there's big-time cause for concern.
Yeah, I don't see Monarch losing 2 in a row either. Also, a note to the FHSAA, get a good scoreboard operator to run this game. That man is going to be kept busy all night long.
Yeah, with that potent offense on both sides.
And now we go to the Broward version of the Soul Bowl, Dillard against Ely. Two teams with high ceilings, but you never know what you're going to get each week in and week out.
This is where I'm going to pick the upset because even though Ely is the team that's going to the playoffs, Dillard, after what they did last week, it's clear they're still playing for pride. They're into their games. And this is a talented team. They're just in a tough district this year, couldn't get through and break through the pack, but I think they win the Soul Bowl. I think they beat Ely.
Andre, I think you're right about that. I think Dillard just has more to play for in this game. Ely might have the postseason on their mind next week. Now, the school that we're at, Miami-Jackson. They play Northwestern in the Soul Bowl, the Dade County version. Last year was a great game, overtime win for Northwestern, but neither team was in the postseason. This year, both teams are playoff bound. Who do you have in this one?
Well, you know what I said. I mean, after 12 years of this team dominating, Northwestern definitely has history on their side, and that's the only reason that they might have an edge. But I will say, it would not surprise me if the streak ended this year because of the job Coach Little and these guys have done here at Jackson to regenerate this program. They have them on the rise, but this is the kind of win the Generals need to have to show everybody, to continue to show everybody that they're a team on the rise. What do you think? Disagree with me.
So who are you going with? You're going with
I said, well, you saw what I wrote in the paper. I said the Bulls by a little bit. But like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if Jackson flips the script on them. What do you think?
That is what I'm going with. We're here at the alma mater of Lee Corso.
You're going with the G-men.
Right.
Good.
Right. I'm going with the
There you
Generals.
go.
I would have the Generals headgear on here at Miami Jackson. How could I not?
You should have bought a Green Bay helmet or an Aaron Rodgers jersey or something.
Exactly. We'll be back next week. Manny Navarro will be filling in for me, and we'll have the first round of the playoffs picks and wrap up the final week of the regular season.